Evening, Dale.
Hello, how are you?
Not bad. Evening, folks. Yep, I've brought Dale along for the eye candy for the ladies, or Dale, Tintin, Richard Gere for the ladies, and to provide some witty banter.
Good God.
I wouldn't say it's been a long time since I've done this, but I couldn't actually remember how to add the video link thing. So anyway, yeah, you're doing all right, Dale?
Yeah, not too bad. Work's busy, you know.
Like us all, mate. You do know that the only time I actually invite you on is when there's a football game on BT Sports. I invite you on. You've got it on the wrong channel, by the way.
Yeah, because there's no football on unless you want to watch Dagenham in the FA Cup. That's about all there is on.
Yeah, listen, guys. Thanks for dropping in. Anyone that's kind of, that watches my channel on a regular basis will know that I've kind of taken I'm taking a wee kind of step away from YouTube. It's not going to be for very long. I've just the people that know me probably know what's kind of been going on. I've had some shit to deal with, as we all know, Dale. Life does from time to time throw you a curveball. Sometimes you get more than one, and it can sometimes be pretty tough, But I think you have to always try and be positive about things and just know that things do get better and they generally do work out, and bad things are usually only a kind of short time. You know what I mean? They're always temporary.
Very much so.
But yeah, so I just, I was kind of, I thought I miss this, so I'll do a wee kind of cheeky impromptu live stream, as I've called it that. So yeah, tonight's basically I've put down it's going to be stuff picked by me, but if there's anything apart from Chuck Rock, then yeah, by all means, stick the comment up. on the comments thing. So listen, I'm going to kick off with one of my favourites, Berserk. I should have actually called it the quest for level 2. Do you think we'll see level 2 tonight, Dale?
Berserk, I bloody well hope so.
I don't think there is a level 2 in Berserk. You get to second screen, I suppose, but
wave. We'll call it wave 1, wave 2, shall
we?
Wave 2.
How did I think I've asked this before? I've not asked. I've talked about this in the past. At what point did we refer to not even a life? A go, I think that's probably the technical term. A go. How did we, when you put your money in? I mean, the very early days of video games, it was like timed. All the early Atari stuff, your Atari Sprint, your basketball. I think there was baseball and that kind of stuff, or soccer as they like to call it as well. It was all just time based, and you'd be playing it. Oh, thank you very much, Steve. Very, very kind, mate. Thank you. You'd be playing it and suddenly things would start moving on their own. You realise because you'd run out of time. At what point what was the first game that actually had, I'm going to say, lives or men as we like to call them?
Yeah, well, it's exactly like you said, isn't it? Everything was lives or time driven. So even Pac-Man was lives and all of that sort of stuff. So you got to go to, let's have a think. 83, I should have thought, somewhere around there.
Well, yeah, Space Invaders. I mean, that was lives, but you called it men. You called it men. Yeah.
You said which game has a goal. So what I'm trying to say is you've got to go past all the lives and the time stuff. So you got to go past Gallagher, past Pac-Man, past all of that sort of stuff. Burger King and Tapper, and you got to go to something which is more story driven. Or I'm just trying to think what was the first one.
I mean, when I think back to even like Space Invaders, you always called it your last. Oh, going to give me your last man.
Man.
You never said your last spaceship. That's probably politically incorrect now. Your last man. It was a spaceship. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Right, let's batter on with some Berserk. Right, let's see if I can remember how to do this. You can probably see I'm sporting the George Michael this evening.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, hang on, Dale, you've dropped something.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Sorry about that.
Right, wait a minute. Right, hang on. Share screen. There we go. Aye, listen, thanks to anyone that can be arsed tuning in tonight. There we go. Share, right. There we go. Right, I suppose we better, well, like I said, for the ladies, we need to obviously keep Dell in the screen. Don't want the ladies dropping out.
Good God.
Right, there we go. Right, Berserk. Don't know if this is the easy one or the hard one. There's not such a thing as easy Berserk. Do you actually... I've never actually asked you, Dale, do you play video games?
Nah, I don't even know what they are.
I know you like to talk. You like to talk about them. But do you actually... I mean... Oh, hang on. That's bloody loud.
Yeah.
That is really loud. Holy shit. Holy shit, bad man. That is loud. Right, wait a minute. Was that loud for you as well, was it?
It was loud, yeah.
Right, wait a minute. The problem is, when I turn the volume of that down, I turn you down as well. But then again, that's not a bad thing. Right, wait a minute. Oh, this isn't playing ball again. How was that for everyone else? Echo?
Well, no, it's just they can hear me talking twice.
Why is that?
I can hear you.
Why have you got a funky echo going on? What's causing that, I wonder?
It's only happened since you started this game.
Is it? That's bizarre. Can you... I don't know. How do we solve that? I have no idea. Advanced options.
It's easy. I just shut up.
Guests. No, we don't want that. Audio. Right. Wait a minute. Echo cancellation. Right. I've ticked echo cancellation.
Okay.
Right, speak.
Yeah, but I can still hear me twice.
I've done echo cancellation. Is Dell still echoing? Let me know. Right, anyway, I'm going to... Right, Dale, you just need to kind of sign for the death or something. I don't know if you... Right, I'm just waiting for somebody to say if you can still get an echo from Dale. Is
Right,
that... Sorry, Craig, is that...
I was going to say, I'll talk again, but
Yeah.
when I do, I can hear me.
That is... Why is that doing that? Why is that?
I think it's how the sound is split up when you're playing a game.
It doesn't normally do that, does it? I have no idea. I have no idea what...
But anyway,
we can't not have any sound, right? I've... Pass. Do you want to drop out, Dale? I mean, I don't know. It's you're welcome.
Okay. I'll leave the studio.
Well, you're welcome to sit in there, but that's a pain. I don't know why. Why is that doing that?
Well, I'll just leave and come back in.
Right, you come out. Yeah, you go out and come back in again. Anyway, I never really liked that guy. Anyway, right, I don't know how he managed to get into the stream. Right, anyway, let's crack on with this.
Destroy the intruder.
So how is everybody? Oh, hang on.
Humanoid.
We're going to let Dale back in again. Right, Dale, you need to start talking. I'll let you communicate and see if you're...
Humanoid.
Hello. No, I'm still in it.
Intruder alert.
Right, I don't know why.
It's coming through you.
I've no idea. I don't know why that's doing that. What do you think, Dale? You want to stay? There's not much point in you just sitting in and not being able to speak.
It's only while you're playing a game and you'll die on the next wave.
Yeah, I'm not even looking at that. Right, that's annoying me. Why is it doing that? Let me just... hang on, I'm going to pause that for a second. Right, I'm in the options. Audio, echo cancellation. I've got that ticked. I'm at a loss. Remember, I had that kind of problem before.
It's almost like it's picking up through your mic. So can you hear anything coming through your speakers?
Cheers, Colin. No, I mean, I can hear you through the headphones. Tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of the stream and I'm going to go back in using, what do you call it, Edge. Because I'm sure that fixed it the last time. Remember, I had the problem where you couldn't hear the sound or something?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Right, you stay in the stream and I'll jump out.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Cauldron. He won't be long. Dolby Atmos. You get better stuff on my TV. Don't tell Alan that, though. Oh, the last game I played. I tell you what, this weekend I was playing that Ghosts and Goblins remake on the Switch. And I didn't get very far. I'd like to know what all you guys are playing over the weekend. Have you been playing that Mamemeister high score competition, or have you been playing anything on a new console? Or here he comes! Look, Lemmy. He's turned his mic off now. Alan, turn your mic on.
Right, is that better? Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you.
Right, okay, right. Let's try it now. Right, Dale, it's up to you to start talking again, buddy.
Yeah.
See if we get any echo.
Okay.
Can you hear an echo?
Oh no, not when we're talking like this. Like I said, it didn't start until you played a game.
Right, well,
That's when the whole mic thing went.
Hang on.
Intruder alert, intruder alert.
Anything?
Got a humanoid, got a intruder.
Bloody loud again. Oh, I can hear myself twice.
Got a humanoid intruder.
Right, that's a pain in the arse. Right, I don't know what to do, Dale.
That's all right, you just play the game. I'll watch. And then when you finish, we'll have a chat.
Right, that's fair enough. Right, okay, sorry about that. That's a pain in the bloody arse. Honestly, if it's no one thing, it's your mother, isn't it? Honestly. Right. Right, let's take two. Let's start. Can we just start from the very beginning again? Since it's a very good place to start, apparently. That's bizarre, because we've done this loads of times. Oh, right, I think that's the German one. That's not to worry, we'll just play this anyway.
15 mentioning.
Some German speech going on there as well.
Fine. 13 mentioning.
Maybe a minute, I'm just going to, I want to just... I'm just going to double check again the options here. Audio, echo cancellation, right.
Fine.
Try and talk now, Dale, is it? Whoops, shit, hang on.
Okay. I can still hear myself twice.
Is there something at your end you can do, Dale? Maybe no.
No, because it's the way that the game is streaming the audio.
That's really, really weird. There's been plenty of times where I've done live streams when you've been in it as well, haven't you? That's bizarre.
I don't think you've playing it. No.
Maybe not, don't know. Not to worry. Oh, bloody hell.
15 cycling.
It's a bit like having somebody in doing football commentary, but they're not actually able to talk. Never mind. You can keep an eye on the comments anyway. Christ, have you ever played this game, Dale?
Oh yeah, lots of time.
Yeah. You cheeky bastard. Come here. I do like the German speech, I have to say. That's all. Have we got any German speakers in this evening that know what the hell they're actually saying? A top tip with this game is let Evil Auto do a lot of the hard work for you. Like that. There is a known bug in this game where there is a known bug where you wait a minute. There is a known bug where sometimes Evil Auto doesn't kill the robots. It only happens on the very odd occasion. Oh, bloody hell! Oh, that was shit. Right, I'm going to have one more go. I do like the German speech, actually. That's quite nice. So I'm tempted to speak to you, Dale, but I know it's going to be really off-putting for people. Is it actually that bad? Is it actually that bad that you can't talk? You think?
I could probably say things in one sentence.
Aye, because then you end up. Is there a delay and you end up hearing yourself? And it's really off-putting. I'm wondering. Wait a minute. I wonder if I'm wondering if I was to maybe change my microphone with that.
Possibly, yes.
Right, listen, I'm going to abandon this. I want to get this fixed. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my headphones.
See, Alan lasts longer, you see, when he's not playing. Now you need to enable another mic.
Right, can you hear me?
Yep.
Right, now, let's see. I'm now using my desktop. I've also got the speakers, right. If this doesn't work, I think we just have to talk when we're not playing games.
Yeah, that's all right.
How's that? Oh, wait a minute, it's just started. Wait a minute.
Well, now you can't hear the audio from the game.
That's weird. I can't hear it either. Bloody hell! Why is that?
Like I say, I think the way it's how the sound is mixed when you're playing a game. It's using Windows audio or whatever it is. You know, it'll be in a sound setting somewhere. But of course, I'm not there, so I can't see where it would be.
Oh, somebody's saying that's fixed it. Well, wait a minute. Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear the sound? Like, wait a minute. I'm going to put a game on that's actually got some noise.
Okay.
Right. Outrun. Well, look, so much. I couldn't hear the sound either, so that's not much good. Outrunner's right. Yeah.
I just noticed you lasted a heck of a lot longer when you weren't playing.
Piss off. Right. I don't know why I bloody have you in these streams, honestly.
Jesus.
Right, I'm not even getting any sound. How can we see? I wonder if I was to, right, at the end of the day, as long as you remain in the stream, if I was to maybe.
I'll stay here, it's not a problem.
Should I reboot my machine with that? Maybe, and then I'll come back in.
Well, didn't you say it was something to do with the audio settings of the browser and you had to do something in the mixer of the browser? There was a setting for sound and you had to choose which mic you were using.
Right, I'm back into this. Audio, desktop speakers. Oh, wait a minute. Could you hear that? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But why am I not getting any sound in Outrun?
It's got to be some StreamYard thing. Got to be.
Right. I'm going to reboot my machine. You just keep people amused for.
I'll keep people amused. I don't mind.
Right, I'm just looking up there. There's 24 people watching the stream. I'll be bloody gutted if I come back and there's like 6. But to be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't bloody blame them for bailing out when I'm on it. But anyway,
I got some things to chat about if you don't play games anyway.
Right, so. All right, back in a tick.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm so sorry, fellas and ladies, but you've only got me, and I don't do streaming much, so I'm about as fun as having some sort of coronavirus or pandemic going on. So I don't know quite what you might want to chat to me about or ask me some questions, but I'll do whatever I can. But somebody said they were playing Cable. I remember playing that very early days in the arcades. Song and Dance, no chance. But I never really played Mega Man until I had a SNES, and then I was playing sort of other platforms then. How's the weather? I look out the window and it's pitch black, but it was cold, but not raining. And the weather forecast for tomorrow is that there'll be some precipitation coming down from the east. No, not quite sure what the weather's like tomorrow. Doing my Groundhog Day impression. Do I agree that games with bats should be banned? Every Batman game should be banned. Every witch thing with a bat should be banned. No, not really. I don't think there's a game that I think should have been banned even back in the day. You know, all that Carmageddon stuff and all of that, and Grand Theft Auto, and if a band was in it that had a tune or something that came out that month, that was banned on Radio 1 and the game was banned. No, I don't agree with banning things. You have a choice. You either buy it or you don't. It just glorifies you and makes you want to go out and buy it more, and it's probably a piece of rubbish when you get it. What are your thoughts on the Mr. console? Now, I was going to have a chat with Alan about that, so I have got lots of thoughts about the Mr. So I might have a nice little chat with Alan about that, because Alan's been saying just recently that he's in two minds, and I've been thinking about it an awful lot, and I thought that maybe we can have a chat about it.
Fucking hell, I'll leave you for 2 minutes and you get an extra couple of bloody people watching. Holy shit, yeah. I'll just disappear now then, shall I?
Sorry, my mum's just come in for a moment. She wants to say hello.
Hi, Dale's mum.
Hello, Mum. Yeah, all right. So that's my mother.
Right, Dale, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share, a wee minute. Right, I've switched the computer on and off. I'm going to share the screen and share, okay. Right, what we're going to do is I'm going to play Sid's tune and see if there's any echo.
I can hear the tune.
Can you hear an echo?
Can I hear an echo? No, I can't hear an echo.
Right, you guys let me know. Can you hear an echo?
Yeah.
There's this 10-second delay between asking a question and somebody actually answering you.
Somebody's just asked, is my mum a retro gamer? Now, actually, it's funny you should say that, because she challenged Alan to a game of Galaxian earlier on, and then she said no, she'd like a challenge. So, she sort of left.
Oh, sorry, I need to watch my P's and Q's if your mum's still kicking about. What the hell? Yeah, you're hilarious, mate. Honestly, hilarious. Right. I think I'll get Archie and Jax to bloody share the screen the next time. Anyway, enough of that bollocks. We seem to have solved the problem. Hey!
Yeah, that's worked.
Right. Fandabi Dozy is... Who was that again? Stuart Francis.
No, that was the Crankies, wasn't it?
No, Fandabi Dozy. No, it's Nicola Sturgeon.
Nicola Sturgeon. Oh, God, yeah.
Evening, Dave. Right, anyway, listen, let's do a quick roll call. Yeah. Christ, we've only... What time did we start? Was it 7:30? I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
7:30. Ah, Christ. I don't know what went on there. Anyway, listen, we've got tons of people in, which is wonderful. Cordon of Stardust, Steve Retro, Mr. Flanagan, LFC Gamer and Vlogs. Is it Keith? Kevin? Keith, it is, I think. Mark, whatever. Christian, we've got Neil, Stealth Banana. Evening, Neil. When are you coming up to fix my stereo? We've got Paul Morrison. We've got Holly. 8-Bit Steve. Dale Boy. Dale Boy. Mr. Bachelor. Ian Cullen. Well, I've said Christian. Yeah, there's obviously a few people that are being quiet. We've got Robert Morrison. Evening, Robert. Yeah, listen, thanks for dropping in tonight. Like I says, yeah, I am kind of taking a bit of time back at the moment just to sort some shit out, as they say. But I thought I would do this tonight. It always cheers me up. So yeah. Anyway, right, listen, I'm not going to bother playing Berserk. Where are we? It's chuck a game in if you want. Anything you want me to play, Dale? What do you think?
Well, I like to see games where you actually last longer than 5 minutes, so I can't think of one. But I tell you what, while you were gone, Holly said she wanted to know what a little bit more about your problems with the Mister. And I said, I've got my own opinion of the Mister, so we can probably have a chat about that later on. But first, let's have some fun with some games or something, something to lighten things up before we go into a complex discussion like the Mister.
Yeah, we can talk about the Mister in a minute. Right, I'm going to play another game that I want to play. What should I play? I think we need a bit of Super Pipeline 2. Absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you can see there, Cauldron. I was in touch with Richard Linefiner, I think it is. And I was hoping to catch up with him this week. He's not been back in touch, and to be fair, I'm probably not in the right place at the moment to do that, but I will kind of chase him up. So anyway, a bit of Super Pipeline 2. So have you played Super Pipeline 2? Yeah, I was asking before we kind of had technical issues. What do you actually do when you're not watching telly? I mean, gaming wise, do you play? I mean, you've got a few old systems, haven't you?
Oh God, yeah. I've got no end of computers and consoles and all that. I'm quite a heavy gamer, or I used to be. But what tends to happen now is that I tend every I don't know what it is, but I've got thousands and thousands of games just like you. I watch your streams and I see you playing games. And sometimes there'll be I haven't played that for a long time, so I think I'll play it. But what mostly happens is that I'll be watching a YouTube video where they'll do a top worst games or top best games. There'll be one in there that I might not have seen, and then I'll put it on. Because if that doesn't happen, then of course I'm not really excited to go back to something that I haven't played for a long time. If you see what I mean, I get more enjoyment watching somebody try to get to level 2 than me getting to the end. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think there's nothing more boring than watching somebody never dies. Like how's the volume balance thing?
Well, it's in the background. It's not that prominent, that's all.
Well, wait a minute, I can adjust it here, right? That better.
Yeah, it's fine.
That better, right, good. Right, anyway. I mean, I'm sure one of these images doesn't actually work.
What game was this one again? Oh yeah, Super Pipeline 2, isn't it? The one that we haven't seen for at least 2 streams. Yeah, go on.
Because your material's bloody older than Jeanette Cranky. Right, that just be working. Oh, there we go. Press fire button. Jack Alien. I mean, he must have had nothing better to do than typing up instructions for all these bloody thousands of games, eh? Seriously.
You've got quite a few choices, actually. Some person said, Robert said Cable, the arcade game Cable. And I was saying, yeah, I played that back in the day. Didn't really get on with it very well, but it was a good game. Obviously, the arcade Cable, which was the little marine guy scrolling at the bottom, shooting, at the soldiers coming, all that.
So I'm just looking. So Steve Retro's saying we're only getting the game audio picked up by your mic now. How the hell is that?
Yeah, I was saying it's not prominent.
That's weird. Right, you know what? Is it? I don't know. Right, I think we just leave it. Do you think?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, why not?
I don't want to come out and mess up. I don't know why it's.
It's one of those things where, if this occurs, it happens. But then I can sort this out next time offline. Before we do another stream, so that you're okay with Panther or someone like that, and then it'll be okay for another stream. It won't be. It's not too much of a heart. It's not too much of a heartache that somebody can't see you play Pipeline again for the 50th time.
Yeah.
And I'm only joking.
Are you fuck? Anyway, right, man, right.
The only thing I know about you, Alan, is that I will destroy you at Ghosts and Goblins. That's all I know.
All right, go on then, Mr. Big Boots. How far can you get in it?
Oh, I'm usually pretty. I mean, I haven't played it for a long time, but I was playing Ghosts and Goblins on the Switch, the remake, and I've nearly finished that. But the original Ghosts and Goblins was one of my favorite arcade games, and I remember putting, like my 20 pence in and getting quite far. I wouldn't lose a life until I got to about level 2 or 3. I was pretty all right at that game.
So that's no mean feat. I mean, Ghosts and Goblins is one of probably the toughest arcade games, I would say.
It was just one of those things where I think it was because he looked like a bloke in a piece of armor. There's the graveyard, the zombies. I just was really excited to play that game when I first saw it. So
that's a bloody epic game. Right, can you actually hear this? Can you just hear it?
I can hear it.
Well, can you hear it? Can you normal? Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. Anyway, you keep an eye on the comments, and I don't think there's any. I don't know. I have no idea. What's going on with this.
I think what happens is when I speak, it turns the music off.
Maybe right. Robert's, Holly and Robert and Craig are all saying that they're all saying, "Can you tell Dale to shut up?" I mean, sorry, they're all saying that they can hear it absolutely fine.
Yeah.
There we go. A little tip in his hat to Sir Clive Sinclair's C5.
You actually do really well in this game. I have to say, I'm quite impressed. But
there are a few games I can actually play. A few being the probably.
Yeah, I've got a spreadsheet of the games that you play well, and it goes down to about the 11th or 12th column.
I don't know why I fucking get you into my streams, I'll tell you, honestly. I've no idea. Probably because nobody else wants to come on, that's probably the only reason. I love that noise. That is a perfect.
Yeah. I think a lot of when I saw this, they mentioned the music an awful lot, but didn't really talk about the sound effects. And I always thought that the sound effects weren't too bad. They are minimalistic, but they're quite good.
But what I like, there's a boom. But this game is great because there are a few sound effects, but it doesn't cut the music out. Although, yeah, but to be fair, it is primarily music. But I think this game, if you took the music away, hello, ding dong. If you took the music away, you'd completely lose the essence of the game. I mean,
yeah.
Just try playing the Amstrad version.
And I remember the interview, they said that this was going to be an arcade game, wasn't it? It was developed to be an arcade game.
This game, I've always said that this would absolutely... I don't know, I just think it's one of the most perfect kind of... Oh, shit. Don't rub your nose when you're about to get killed. I just think it's one of the most perfect computer games there is. It really is. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is a fun game.
It makes me smile when I play it. And usually when I'm playing it, it makes people laugh. But anyway.
It's one of those games that when I bought it, I played it to death. Then when I stopped playing it, I used to keep going back to it after about a month.
Aye.
And it was just nice to throw on and say, I fancy just a quick 10-minute bash on it. And it was one of those types of games where some rubbish would come out every month. But it didn't matter that some rubbish had come out because I'd put this back on and play it for 10 minutes. Didn't really matter to me,
Exactly.
It's a perfect Sunday afternoon one, a game that you'd put on a Sunday afternoon when there's rubbish on.
Yeah, I just think it's a fantastic game. Not quite. Is that a hammer supposed to be? Is it?
What was that?
What's that? Oh shit! Hang on. What the hell? Is that a hammer? What's that thing that's going round just now? Is that a hammer? You're right.
Oh.
That's obviously
there's a hammer there. There's a can. There's a aerosol can there. And then there's a jackhammer I've seen.
It's one of these games. It's if you don't pay attention, you end up losing control. It's trying to get back into the groove can be quite difficult.
Yeah.
Take a risk and run down there.
Yeah, so there's a spanner, there's a hammer, there's a jackhammer, and there is an aerosol type can, I think, or oxygen cans or something.
Oh, come on. What the hell? Have we got enough water to see it through? Unlikely. Come here, you little shit.
Yeah, somebody's just said that they like the music in the first game better than the second. Is that your opinion as well, Alan?
I don't know. I think it's more iconic, the first one. But I think the music in this is good as well.
Yeah.
I like them both. I wouldn't. I don't know. I couldn't really choose what one's my favourite. I think the first one's maybe got slightly more character. There's obviously like baddies, etc. The graphics are certainly worse. I mean, you're never going to see this game has got good graphics. They're passable at best and not very good at worst, I think. But it's, graphics do noteth maketh a game, as they say.
Yeah.
As I say.
You'll have to remind me, Alan. But what was there? Was there 12 months to 18 months between both games?
I have no idea, Dale. Couldn't tell you, mate.
Yeah, I think it was about 12 months. And the reason I asked that is because most companies like Taskset and that would have probably have increased how they wrote their music. Like different. That have improved slightly. You know what I mean in regards to instruments and stuff.
I mean, for a come on, for a game you have like the first one, in fact even this one as well. The music literally, what is that thing there? That thing where it looks like, I don't know, it looks like I put a set of headphones on a ball or something, a snooker ball. It's all going bloody Pete Tong at the moment, mate.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, I know what that is. That's a saw, circular saw.
Is it? Who knew? Who'd have thunk?
Yeah, so that pinky thing in the middle, that's the saw blade.
Ah, is it? Right, wait a minute. Oh shit, there's Mr. Lobster Monkey coming. You can have that up there, so there you go. Right. Have it. Right, wait a minute. Oh, piss off! Oh shit. Right, I'll protect them this time. Right, you take care of that, son. Right, we're doing okay, hold it together, lads. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering.
I'm just trying to get caught up with some of the chat because Holly was been saying something and I can't. I'm trying to get the thread and find out what she's been talking about.
Oh shit! Right, good skilled young man.
Because she's going to see someone, but I can't find out who it is.
If your mum's want any games played, Del, just tell her to put it in the comment section down below.
The funniest thing that happened with my mum is I put the virtual headset on her and she played Moose Life for about 2 minutes.
Fantastic.
That was funny. I'd have loved to have videoed that. That was quite amusing watching an 80-year-old put a virtual headset on and try and play Moose Life.
Stick with my channel and you'll see me doing it in a few years' time. Yeah, what the hell. Right, where are we? It'd be a bloody travesty if I don't see this level through now. Come here, you little bastard.
Oh, I think Holly has been saying that she's going to go and visit the man cave, the retro man cave. You know, Neil.
Yeah, she mentioned that when Panther and I visited her down in Western Ho. Western, yes. Apparently the only place in the UK that's got an exclamation mark. after its name. Yeah, she did mention that. I do watch the channel. Neil's got a good channel.
Well, I'll tell you what I really like about his. He does this retro week roundup thing with an American friend.
For Christ's sake, yeah.
And I know he's just finished his new establishment, and he said he's going to do a friends and family walkthrough to make sure that health and safety is there, and then it'll be open to the public, which would be good.
I'm assuming he must do that. I mean, he obviously does the channel full time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
The thing about big channels like that is people give them stuff all the time, don't they?
Yeah, he's had an awful lot of things like magazines, posters from the period, all of that sort of stuff. But he also was a big fan of that poor guy who's just had his house burnt down. He used to fix all his machines for him, and
Mark fixes things. You know what? Stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I was talking earlier on about shit. Life can just come along and deal you a blow, you know, and it's you just never know what's around the corner, eh?
Yeah, I do feel for that guy.
That'd be bloody awful.
Oh, but apparently the community opened up, and a fund was started up, and it went really well. Apparently,
so I heard that, which is great. That's a really, really nice thing. I know. Right, I'm not even paying attention here.
It sounds like we've got a few Rob Hubbard fans in. They want you to put Monty on the Run music on.
Is that instead of you talking, I take it?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought, yeah, let's come on. It was Dell. Come on and have a chat. But by the way, I'm going to interrupt you with 10-minute music episodes. Can't choose a track that's as long as Monty on the Run, could you? Knuckle Busters would be about 17 minutes.
Oh, Christ. I've got more bloody holes in this pipe than your patter, honestly. Jesus. Right.
Yeah, I am surprised. You're doing very well.
No, I'm not. I'm falling to bits here. You just being sarcastic.
Can't you tell yet?
Honestly, yeah. You're fucking hilarious. Anyway, right, what I need what have I watched? I've watched Animal Kingdom. I'm now looking for something to get my teeth into TV wise. Is there any box sets worth binging on?
Well, everybody's been talking about this Succession, which is on Sky Atlantic, and it's on season 3. It's about corruption. I haven't watched it myself, but I was tempted when everybody's going mental over it. You know, it's like the most, you know, you got to watch this. But it was going on at the same time as that Squid Game was going on. So,
have you watched Squid Game?
Oh yeah, I saw it quite very early on, to be quite honest.
Yeah. It's something a bit different.
Well, now there's loads of clones of that type of show now. You know, where you play a game and all of this sort of stuff. So,
yeah. Tell me, did anybody like the original The Office, the Ricky Gervais version?
The Office, the
Ricky Gervais one. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I've actually watched it quite a few times. Have you watched it, Dale?
Oh, back in the day, yeah. And then he did extras after that, didn't he? So,
have you watched the American version?
Now, the American version, I watched on and off. I couldn't see what people were seeing in it. It went on for like 9 seasons or something, didn't it? It was something stupid. And it was fun. It's just that there was something different about it. It's almost like they did it just right for the American audience. And I like a lot of American comedies, but I'm very hit and miss with them. You know, like I either really, really get into them, or I could turn it on and I couldn't care less if I miss the next episode, or you know.
Yeah. Sorry, Dale, I'm just conscious. I'll keep an eye in the comments, mate. I don't want if
I am. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
questions. You let me do the concentration.
Well, some people have said that they can't stand Ricky Gervais, and I can understand that. I saw his latest one, the one where his wife has died.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and now apparently the third season of that is supposed to come out very, very shortly.
Apparently, there's also Stranger Things. Season 3's on its way. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Don't die, Al. Don't die, for Christ's sake.
Now, someone's just mentioned in the room an American comedy that I used to watch a hell of a lot, and I loved it, and that was Frasier. But I liked Frasier because it was not like other American comedies. It was a bit more highbrow. It wasn't slapstick. And I used to like, the things between Niles and Daphne. If you ever watched the show, you'd know what I was talking about. But it is one of those things where it was clicky, a little bit clicky. If you liked Cheers and you wanted to see another sort of like off-take of Cheers, then it was a good program. And the reason I liked it was A, because of that interaction with his brother and Daphne, but there was also, he had his own radio show and he had these call-ins, and the call-ins were from famous actors and actresses. You could sort of just about make out who they were, and I used to try and work out who they were, and I didn't want to look at the titles at the end, to know that some star had phoned in as a voice actor. So that was quite good.
Sorry, Dale, people are more interested. There's a cliffhanger here. There's literally one ball hair of water required. Come on, get in, son, get in.
Yeah. So yeah, just to round up,
there we go. That's the way to do it.
I was just going to say, just to round up, I like Frasier because it was a little bit more highbrow, a bit more sophisticated than Cheers, but it was good. I like that show.
Yeah, never. Oh shit! Right, should we move on to something else? What do you think?
Yeah.
Let's move on to something else. There's something you're going to see not very often is me abandoning a game mid-game.
Yeah,
6 knives left as well. There you go.
It's almost like you weren't cheating, and I find that, and it's really, really good.
Like Monty on the Run, you say?
Well, somebody said that can we just hear the music, and I went, well, that's up to Alan. It's I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of Monty anything by Rob Hubbard, to be quite honest. But
you
can't really tire of it.
You know what? I think what we should do is we play Monty on the Run music, but I'll play something else. Like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play Whizball, but we'll turn the music down and we'll play Monty on the Run with Whizball. How's that?
Why not? Anything else that you can screw this stream up with by trying to mix different audios? You just go ahead and try.
Right, wait a minute, Mr. Negative. Right. Right, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Right, now you can't hear it. Now let's get Whizball, not Whizball playing. Come on, Jax, get up. That's a good lad. Right, Monty on the Run. We don't want to play the game. Whoa. Right, hang on. Right. There we go. How's that? Right, I'll turn this sound down a wee teeny bit. Is that bloody loud?
That is loud.
That is loud, it is loud. Like that over there. How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Not better. Right, okay, a bit of Whizball with Monty on the Run. See, I know somebody's going to drop in mid-stream and go, wait a minute, is that a special remix of Whizball with Monty on the Run music?
I mean, Whizball is class. You have to say that.
Whizball's great, yeah. I mean, Caldwin the Stardust is saying what's wrong with Whizball. Whizball's a fantastic sound, but yeah, let's kill two birds with one brick.
I mean, there were favourites in my collection that when I actually loaded them up and played them, I played them to death, and then I'd go back to them. And there were other ones which got really good reviews, and I'd play them once or twice and couldn't get into them, and they'd just stay in the case.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And Whizball was one of those ones where I'd keep coming back and play that one to death, and you know.
Well, Whizball was.
Whizball, yeah, oh yeah.
Whizball.
That was one of those games where I played it to death.
I mean, it's got one of the steepest learning curves of a game ever. It was just utterly unplayable until you kind of figured it out. Oh, I've just missed a trick there. Whoa. There we go, get that.
Well, I remember loading this up, and it was just like you were saying, it was the controls, and it was like I got home at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, loaded it up. It must have been a good hour and a half before I understood really what the hell was going on, because I didn't bother reading the instructions like you, and I was going, "What the hell is this?" There's icon, you know. I mean, if you look at it, there's icons at the top. You're floating about. There's bouncing left and right. There's a thing that's floating about, and I was going, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing here. And then it just clicked. And then once it clicked, it was like, I can't put this down.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of Sensible Software's. Probably second only to Sensible Soccer, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Sensible Soccer was one of those ones where I got a lot of enjoyment of that by going probably to somebody else's house and playing a game. I didn't really get on with it when I was playing against the computer too much. I found it just like anything else, really.
Yeah. Like, did you play Sensible Soccer much back in the day?
Well, I went round some people's houses and they loved it, and we'd play a night, with a couple of beers. You know what I mean? I was in my teens then. I was going to work, so it was quite nice actually having a tournament. But again, I was also going out to the pubs then, so we didn't really stay in and play computer games at that particular stage. It wasn't at the point. It wasn't the point where this is the new game, is it? And then you going out the next day to go out and buy it yourself. It wasn't. I'd passed all that. That was. It was at a stage where I was. As soon as I left school, I was going more to the pubs than playing games.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I played. I mean, I was living with somebody at that point, and so yeah.
Somebody's got a new title for this game. It's called Whizball on the Run.
My cat's going a bit loopy. Hang on. Come here, you. Oh shit. See, I don't think this has ever been done before. Playing one game whilst playing the tune in another game.
Monty on the Whiz. Oh, for God's sake.
Monty Ball.
Yeah. But again, I am surprised you're doing well again. It's almost like you chose the games that you're good at.
Well, what did I say at the top? Favourite games? What the hell? Like my catalyte's just going ape shit. Look at that, I'm not even moving it. It's just moving about on its own.
Ah. Probably headbanging to the music.
Well, I don't know what it must be. Look at it. What's wrong with the catalyte? I'm not even touching anything, and it's just moving.
I put it down to your gaming skills.
I'm not touching it.
Well, go down to the next level and then go back up.
It's just going bloody mental. I'm not touching the joystick. It's moving about on its own. I'm not even doing anything.
Yeah.
I take it.
No, look. So Paul has said if you pick up certain colours, it sends the cat insane.
That looks like it. Must be catnip or something.
And I have to say, I value Paul because he's a good games player. He is. He gets his reviews. He gets his reviews totally wrong, but he's a good bloke. He is, Paul.
He's a bit shit. He's a bit shit at Galaxy though in the Commodore 64. And if you watch the 12-hour live stream, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or you bought the Zap annual 2021, whatever it was.
Well, Paul keeps reminding me that he'll say something's in the magazine, and I'll go, "Do you know what? I haven't ordered it yet. I need to do that." So he's just reminded me that I'm about 2 issues behind, so I'm going to have to put my order in again. They've done an Amiga one now, haven't they? So.
Aye, yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. I think I'm wanting to try and cut back in bloody retro stuff instead of buying even more. There's a complete lack. What is it? What are these actually called when you destroy something? It turns into whatever it is. What are they called?
What, those little drops of colour?
Oh, the things that spin round.
Oh, right.
When you destroy something, can I get in there? That's a tight fit, says the bishop to the nun. Oh, there we go. Get in there. I have to say, the graphics on this are phenomenal. You look at that little. Right.
Well, it's one of those games where I turned around and said it was ahead of its time, and it actually was. I mean, this one was.
There's been nothing like it since. I mean, when I spoke to John here, he was going on about WizKid, and after I had my interview with him, I tried to play WizKid, and I just, there we go. What is that called? You don't know? Yeah, I've tried to play WizKid, and it just doesn't really. I just don't really get it. I don't find it fun.
Yeah.
Now, the only one thing I don't like about this game is, like at the moment, I'm kind of struggling to get any of these things that we don't know what they're called. Well, there's some of them there bouncing along. So you tend to kind of rush it, and then you end up dying. Right, there's the cat's recovered.
You mean these spinny things here?
Aye, whatever they are.
They're almost like DNA strands, aren't they, spinning around? But
yeah, well, are they paint? Yeah, that is paint. Oh, you get that. Christ, I'm doing bloody well. I've got.
I know, I fell off my chair nearly.
I was being sarcastic, right? It's over you, obviously. Right. That music, I'll never ever tire from listening to Monty in the Run.
Yeah.
Just bloody epic.
I must have about 50 variants of that tune.
I mean, I've listened to various remixes, but you know what? When the original is so good, why would you want to listen to a remix?
Well, we had this little discussion before, but I've got no problem with a remix. I mean, I'm a big fan of Chris Abbott and his C64 audio website. Nice, but I have to say with you, sometimes you can't reinvent the wheel. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why try and reinvent it? If you want to do a different take on it, yeah, fair enough. I'll listen to it. But even then, I'm going, why bother? It's great. But weren't you a little bit like me though, Alan? At the time, it was like, this is absolutely fantastic. But you always thought, I wonder what it'd be like with real instruments. To me,
yeah. And I mean, listening to the live orchestra thing, whatever it was, it's phenomenal. It actually makes the hairs in your neck stand up.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's a beautiful. If anybody thinks that the SID is just a little blip, a little bleepy blippy thing, it is an instrument on its own.
Oh and,
yeah. Listen to some of the wrong. Listen to I don't know, Forbidden Forest getting played. Whoa, Jesus! Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Listen to that. It's a pure orchestra getting played there.
Yep.
Well, fuck me, we must have 33 people with nothing better to do with their life than listening to this bollocks, eh?
Well, that's supposed to be that's supposed to be a fiddle being played there, and it's not far off.
And this is where this game gets whoa. Ah, what?
Oh, I was going to say I recognise that effect.
Yeah. Thing is, it's one of these games you can play it like that. You can play it for quite a while and not get very far. You can't get pickups, or I didn't get what he paid there, and then other things it does.
Oh, and Stephen's come in, and hello, Stephen.
Who's that, Stephen?
I can never
Hi,
pronounce
Stephen,
his
how you doing,
I was just saying hi to him because he's always welcome, and
absolutely, yeah. It's always everyone's welcome in the stream. It's always nice to have a laugh. Right, anyway, we've played this enough. What's the next?
So Paul has commented and said Rob Hubbard was the first person to make computer game music that sounded like a band could be playing it, and I'd agree with that. But you mentioned a tune that you said that you didn't really like, and it was one of the first tunes that I ever heard of his, and that was Confusion. I really like the tune in Confusion, and in fact, if you turn the tape around, there was an actual live band playing that tune with words.
Did I say I don't like that?
Wow, you happened to mention that Confusion wasn't one of your favourites. You mentioned it.
Was that not a waffle question? Right?
Yeah. And Confusion was one of those ones where I was most impressed that you turned the tape over and there was a band playing the tune, and then I found out later on it was Robert, but who did the tune. I didn't even know he did it. Yeah.
Right, wait a minute. Confusion. Let's give it a go. Where is it? Confusion by Incentive Software.
I mean, it definitely doesn't sound like a Rob Hubbard tune because it's so early on. It hasn't got those Simmons drums and all of that warbly sound type thing. And the game's a bit. Wow, it's like a locomotion train thing with a train track and a spark and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to do something here. I don't like just to end Monty in the Run because that's horrible. So I'm going to fade it out gradually.
Yeah.
Because just to stop it, there's a manual fade out. There we go. I'll do. Right, anyway, let's have a bit of confusion. Yeah, no, what was it again? Something's niggling me. Somebody was asking me about a piece of music that was rubbish or something. And I think what
they said was, although you've mentioned games that have got great music, can you think of a game that's great that's got crap music in it?
I can't remember what I said. No, I do like Confusion music. I think it's good. It's very, very simplistic. It doesn't sound like a Rob Hubbard. Obviously, it's not got all the. I think it doesn't try and have any more voices than it actually does. Unlimited sparks. It's been a long time since I've bloody played this. No, we don't want that. Player 2. No. Starting level, both players 0, 1.
I just know it's like a slide puzzle where you got to get the spark from one side and it goes along.
Evening, Trev. How you doing, buddy? Right, how do we start? Let's see backspace. How do we come out of that? Run, stop, enter, space, shift. There we go.
I'm just going to answer Holly for a moment, Alan.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Holly, you're exactly right. Me and Alan had a bit of a chin wag one day because a guest of his came on saying that he thought that Manic Miner was the first in-game tune. And I said that Rally X was the first in-game music, and that came out on the VIC-20 in 1981. So that must be the first game to have a tune, which is well before Manic Miner. And I mentioned that to Alan quite a while back.
Back 2 ticks. I've got a dog that's going to be sick. Come here, you.
Oh, okay.
Stop it. Oh, for crying out loud. Honestly, there's not... If Usain Bolt wanted to get a split second off his start, he just needs to get a dog that's going to be sick, because nothing makes you get off your arse quicker than a dog that's about to be sick. Stop it.
Yeah.
Right, wait a minute. I'll need to lift him back up. Right, come on. You behave yourself. That's what I've got to deal with. Look at the state of him. Right, behave yourself. Right, you get up as well. Sorry, what were you talking about? What was that game with in-game music you said there?
Well, yeah, Holly happened to mention that Rally X was the first arcade game with an in-game tune.
Right,
and I mentioned to you that I didn't think Manic Miner was the first in-game tune on a computer, because Rally X was converted to the VIC-20, and that was 1981. So that's wrong. But it probably was the first in-game tune for a Spectrum, but not the first in-game tune for any computer. Do you see what I mean?
I'm trying to think of the first game that I can remember that had in-game music.
Yeah. So I remember, but I used to have things like Mousetrap and Rally X, and I know that those had tunes in them. So they definitely had music in the game itself. So
no bollocks. I mean, this is a nice wee game. It obviously looks, it's quite basic looking. I was never a big fan of these kind of games, to be fair.
Well, I remember one of the first games I played. Do you remember a game called, I think it was called Grid Trap? You actually scrolled the tiles underneath you to actually get to the.
That's a great game, actually. I always think that what were they called? Sorry, I'm not even looking now. What were they called? What was the name of the company? Livewire. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Right, you know what? I'm going to put that on. Livewire. It was one of the real early software houses, and I always thought their games were. They were a notch above everything else. I thought they were great. They're really well presented. The music, the graphics. Right, how do we come out of this? Alt W, and Alt D. There we go. Yeah, Grid Trap. There's a game.
You see, I knew about Grid Trap because I had a VIC-20, and Grid Trap was on the VIC-20, and then when I got a 64. I bought that game instantly because I liked the VIC-20 version, and the 64 version I was going, well, this is no different to the VIC-20 version. There's no difference actually. And so I wasn't that impressed, but I loved the game anyway. So
yeah, I didn't actually realise this was in the VIC-20.
Oh yeah.
Unlimited lives. Oh, have we got sound? Oh, wait a minute. You know why there's no... Is there sound in this? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I haven't heard sound since you tried to play Confusion, and that didn't have any sound.
Oh, we got the music, though, didn't we? We had the music.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Right. Yeah, you control this top-hatted dude at the top, Mr. Livewire. And you see, that's kind of... It's got graphical corruption on it.
Yeah, the last time you played this, it had graphical corruption, and I loaded mine, and it doesn't. I don't know if it's your copy or not.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's come out of this just now. We'll try a different... I mean, that's got in-game music. Let's try original tape.
But Paul, just to answer you, Crazy Comets is absolutely one of my favourite tunes. I love the Crazy Comets tune. And Panther will always tell you that that's what made him buy a Commodore 64, or one of the reasons. So
it is impressive, I have to say. Right, W. Right, Alt W. Right, let's try again. F1, I think it is.
yeah, so this is one where you move. You can move.
You're sick. Don't you dare be sick. Back in attack. I'm going to take him out.
Okay, I'll see if there's anything that I can answer in the chat. Now, Forbidden Forest is one of those games where both Al and I absolutely think that's a fantastic game, and I must admit it's one of the earliest C64 games that I bought.
Come on, Archie, and you come.
It didn't look anything fantastic. It was a great game. You know, I wanted to know what the next level looked like, and it was pretty simplistic as well, quite easy to get to the end. But I just kept playing it. It's really weird, that game. It's one of those ones that goes, why do you keep playing it?
Bloody shit, I put him outside, the minute he goes outside he stops all that bloody nonsense, honestly God. What other channel do you get technical issues and dogs being sick live on camera, eh? Christ almighty.
It's what makes you,
yeah,
Alan.
Exactly,
that's what I like to say.
Exactly. Right, F1. Was this game based? Oh, what's going on here?
It's based on an arcade game. If you wanted to know, it is
It's
actually
not
an arcade
game.
Yeah.
It's not an arcade game.
No,
Really?
it is an arcade game.
Ah, right. What was that called?
Oh God, actually, I'm not quite. I think it's virtually the same name. I'm not quite sure.
We'll need to have a look. We'll need to try the arcade one, right? Well, man, do we?
But the thing I liked about this one was you moved around, but you actually then hold the fire button down and move the tiles when you ate the tiles away. And it was like the first game that I sort of played where there's a dual movement with only one joystick. I thought it was mind blowing at the time. So
even though this is pure arcade game.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to praise this company because they've obviously just copied arcade game. But the way the presentation, the sort of, is it a tracked screen or whatever it is? Right, how do we start this? Player option F3. Game start. Start. Is that going to start? Right, hopefully I've not got any. So yeah, the idea is you want to pick up the flags, don't you? But then you also want to... Oh, I didn't realise I was going to do that. Yeah, you also want to defuse the bombs.
Yeah.
And that kind of moves about randomly. Can you get yourself trapped again? I can't remember.
It's difficult to get yourself trapped because you can move the tiles so much, but yes, you can.
When does the level end? Is it when it?
You've got a time limit, if I remember rightly, and you've got so many bombs to do. And I think that the number of bombs is shown in the. Actually, no, I don't know where it actually tells you where the amount of bombs you got to do.
I think you've got to sort of plan your route as well, haven't you?
Yeah. So you see that bomb that's right at the bottom. You could have actually moved the tile and have it come to you. You see, if you were at the top.
Right. Nice, so you can pull that like so.
Yeah. So you can pull things towards you, but you can also move to them, which is why I thought it was absolutely great.
Oh shit! Am I not trapped here?
No, tile move.
But you can't move up or. Oh wait a minute! Right, I've just managed. Right.
And then you can move things along. You see, that's what I mean. You think you're trapped, but you're not. But you're not.
Yeah. I need that boot to bloody piss off.
Well, I'm going to move the bomb towards you. You see, by having it come in from right to left, but.
Right. Oh shit! I'm making a pig's ear of this.
Yeah, that's a bit more difficult now. Yeah.
Oh man, if I come down there. Can I?
Two bombs now, and you've got a time limit: 10 seconds. 9.
Shit! Oh!
There you go. You're all right.
Alright, how am I going to get over here? Holy shit.
Move
I
that
don't know
right,
what
fire and right now. That's it, and then go up.
I don't know what the purpose of the sort of radar thing is.
Hey, look, I'm impressed with my help. You got to sheet 2. My God,
There you go.
I've never seen you do that in this game yet. So I am impressed.
They're fucking hilarious, honest to God. Right, anyway. What's that? I'm just looking at the questions from up above. Why does Dale have to be in the stream? That's a good question.
Oh, okay. I didn't know somebody had put that.
I'm just making that up. I'm making that
I
up.
see.
Anyway.
I see.
Sorry, that was a question. That was a question I was asking myself. Right? Why did I bring you along?
Yeah, to bring a bit of class. Yeah. to translate Scottish to English. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Right. Right. Is there any game nominations at all? I don't mind. I know I said it's all about me, which it is obviously, but you know I don't mind.
I've been trying to read the comments, and a lot of people are mentioning music, and then a lot of people are talking about, games that they've played or old games that they used to like. So, but I suppose you could try playing the Mamemeister High Score Challenge, which is Cable at the moment, the arcade version of Cable.
Could go. I think it's only fair, given how generous Stephen's been. I think we'll need to have a game of China Minor, and we'll play that as well.
Yeah.
It does get more strategic when you start eating all the squares like I've done.
And then I'll threaten everybody by talking about the Mister.
Oh, boys. Right, anyway, that's enough of Grid Trap. I just want to let you, before I move on to China Minor or whatever, I want to let you see a game that I used to. This was one of the first games I didn't own it. I copied it, and it was again by Livewire, and it's what do you call it? It's not called Frogger. Jumping Jack, and it's an absolutely fantastic version of Frogger. Why is that not? There we go. Excuse me. Yeah, let's have a look at Livewire. There we go. 3D Scramble. Don't remember playing that. Carry on laughing. Jesus.
Or should we go?
Yeah, that's bloody Steptoe, son, isn't it? Right, Grid Trap Invaders. Yeah, Jumping Jack. This is.
Yeah, I remember this. The 3D version, yeah.
This is a great game, it really is.
I remember this.
I think my mum actually liked the music to this one. The realm of perspective graphics. Not just a game, an experience. Right. 3-dimensional. I don't think I ever actually saw the loading screen because when it was a pirate copy, in fact, I'm sure mine might have been before Turbo Tape.
Yeah. This one does go back a bit, doesn't it?
That's the thing. I mean, I've been playing games for that long. I mean, the first couple of years of my life with the C64 was before turbo loaders.
Oh yeah, I mean, loading games to me for a very long time didn't even have the coloured bars. It was just a blue screen, and that was it. That's all I got till the end.
You never actually knew whether the game had crashed or whether it was still...
Until the tape stopped. That was. You went, why didn't that load? I got a room.
Yeah, this is bloody awesome. This is a great version.
Yeah. And it's just like one of those things where a lot of people don't actually load this version up or even know about it. You know, it's one of those hidden gem type things.
It's a really, really early game, but it's great.
Bloody Frogger. Yes, we know.
Who's that saying that? Oh, yeah. Kevin or Keith. Keith.
Yeah.
It is Frogger, but it's got a nice spin in it. I prefer this to the original Frogger. It's got nice music and the graphics are really nice.
It is nice.
It is. It's a great version. Oh, there's a wee bird. Hello. Right. I'll go that way, I think. Again, you need to remember how early this game came out. You know, it's a very, very, very early game.
Well, they were all about 1983 for this, I think. 83, 84, 83. I think it's 83.
Something like that.
I mean, Livewire weren't around for very long, and I do know that Grid Trap was 83 for definite. So I would have said that this was around about the same sort of period. So
I don't know why they weren't around for so long. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, because their games are great, but I don't think their games ever saw like a. Did they ever get released in budget or anything at all?
no, I don't even think they were re-released. It was just one of those early companies that were around and then just decided to die, I suppose. I don't even know who the programmers were. So I haven't even checked to see if they moved on to other companies. So.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to the guy. I don't even know who actually programmed this. I mean, look how cute is that little frog.
I'll tell you what is cute. It actually says in the bottom right hand corner, level 2.
Do not adjust your TV
Do not adjust your set. We are controlling transmission. We can control the horizontal. God.
Don't worry, folks. He's here till Tuesday. Bada bada bum. Right, that what? For a bonus question, what tune does that sound like it's based on? I'm thinking. Well, I'm not going to tell you. What tune was that based on?
Well, that Frogger tune just now.
Yeah. What TV program does it kind of remind you of?
Well, I should know if it's TV, but
Can you all think? Oh no, wait a minute. Oh no, I was going to say Mr. Ben, but no, not quite. Is there not a bit in Mr. Ben music?
It's nothing like Mr. Ben.
I know that.
Mr. Ben goes. That's Mr. Ben.
And just then, the shopkeeper appears. How cute is that little frog? Look at it. These big eyes, bless him.
Yeah. Oh God! People are mentioning all sorts of TV shows now. Do you remember Bod? And you had to guess the milkshake that stupid frog was. Chocolate or strawberry or whatever.
Right, anyway, that's enough of that. Right, did somebody else? No, it's not yet. Wait a minute. That's right. Festive Road was where Mr. Ben lived. Was that? See when he was on Festive Road? Was that not the little tune that played? Right, go on. Bonus points. Right, I'm going to play China Minor while we're trying to think about that. I'm trying to remember. A bonus point if anybody can remember what that tune was.
No, it weren't Pipkins. It weren't Pipkins.
Definitely not Pipkins.
No, with Hartley Hare and that stupid pig.
Alright, Hartley Hare.
Hartley Hare, yeah.
He was a pig. Alright, pig. Was that monkey? What was the monkey called? Top Off.
Oh, yeah, Top Off, yeah.
Alright, Hartley. "Ah, you stupid bloody monkey." I don't think he swore right enough, but anyway.
The thing that scared me about Pitkins, not only did the bloody rabbit look like it was nearly dead, but it was just they had all these clocks suddenly appear, and some deep dark voice would say "time," and I'd go,
It's
"Bloody
time."
hell!"
Hopefully, Stephen is Mr. Ulrich still there. Hopefully, he is. You can watch China Minor.
I'll just go back and see how long it's been since he chatted about something.
Sorry, Craig, you were asking about Sean Thornton. I messaged Sean a couple of weeks ago to say that we're all going to Arcade Club. There's a group of us going to Arcade Club on the 27th. Now, he's actually got a concert that day, so we can't make it. But yeah, I am in sort of regular contact with Sean. He's a good lad. I will need to try and get him. I think I need to try and get Sean onto a live stream where we just play his games. That would be good fun.
Christian has said, "China Minor, the universe makes sense again."
The universe is in balance again. Yeah, right. China Minor.
But I
The
tell
funny
you what,
thing is, sorry.
It never ceases to amaze me though that when you lose track a little bit of how things were in your mind, because all of those children's programs like Finger Bobs and Agpuss and all of those ones, they were only about 8 or 9 episodes, and they just repeated them over and over and over again. And I swear there was like 70 episodes or something.
Is that right? How many did you say?
Well, Bagpuss, I think there was about 10 episodes, 12, and they just repeated them. But I swear to God, there was 20 or 30 episodes.
Yeah. Madeline. I wonder what Madeline's up to these days, eh?
Oh, and Professor Yaffle, a carved wooden bookend in the shape of a woodpecker.
Parsley the Line, yeah. The Herbs, that was a funky game. That was a bloody...
Oh, and there was Mary Mungo and Midge. I used to like the Clangers. I don't know why. I think it was just their sound, that little pipe that used to.
Yeah, the soup dragon. Remember the soup dragon?
Yeah.
It was just string that you used to eat. Oh, Yoffie, yeah, remember Yoffie?
But as I grew older, I used to like things like the Tomorrow People, right? And the Tomorrow People was sort of like a time traveling type thing, but it had the most eeriest music that you'd have at the beginning, and then at the end it had this sort of like what do they call it? An oil lamp type effect, you know, one of those lights, you know, those lamps where you heat the oil up and they rise and go down.
Yeah.
And I just remember the beginning music of that. It had this hand that used to sort of like come up towards you with like this. I used to love all of that sort of stuff. Willow the Wisp, I used to like. Thomas the Tank Engine, Noggin the Nog. I was into all sorts of stuff back then.
What was that bloody bizarre one? I never liked it. What was it called? Oh, it wasn't. It was like foreign. Oops, I'm not even paying attention here. What was it?
The Flashing Blade? No.
No. Oh, what was it called? It was like a kind of ball, and it was like a French program. Oh shit! What was it called?
Oh, with Nosy Bonk and.
No. Oh, I can't remember. It was one about the same time you had like Will o' the Wisp that used to.
Was it Ludwig?
Ludwig, that was a bloody. It was like a kind of robot thing, wasn't it? And was it on French or something?
Yeah, it was. I think it was.
I wasn't a fan of that at all.
But I used to like the Flashing Blade and Robinson Crusoe and all of those types of things.
Oh, but
I don't know why.
Monkey was batshit mental as well, wasn't it?
Well, Monkey always was, wasn't it? I mean, you couldn't get anything weird with Tripitaka and Pigsy and Fishface and all that.
Then there was there was the water margin as well. That was kind of more serious, wasn't it?
Yeah, the water margin was the serious one, and Monkey was the one that everybody liked. But it's just the weird things like riding around on a pink cloud and pulling a hair out of his back and blowing it, and all these armies would come out. Weird, you know.
Well, it's official. I've officially forgotten how to play China Miner. I can't actually remember how to do this.
Did you ever know how to play it?
Go on then. How far are you? You claim that you got to what, level 8 or something?
No, I told you that I got to about level 9, and that's about as far as I ever got. I never said that I got any further than that. But it was always about 2 or 3 ahead of what you used to do. But you're now very close to where I even got to. So
yeah, I've completely forgotten how to play it. How are we doing for time anyway? Crisis, mate. What time are we finishing?
Well, whenever you want to, but I do want to help Holly out with a Mister question, and I want to help you out as well. I want to help you out with whether you should be buying one or not, because I've had lots of thoughts about the Mister, and I thought, well, I'll say what I'm going to say about the Mister anyway, because it will just end speculation on what does Dell think about the Mister and why hasn't he got one.
Oh, listen, I'll concentrate. You talk about the Mister. You tell. Would you buy one? And if not, why?
So I'm going to answer that very simply. Right, I'll give a summary right now, which is I'm not going to buy one just yet, but I will be buying one. And the reason for it is, it goes back to what you've been saying an awful lot, which is, do I want to get into something that I'm going to have time enough to really get involved with, and do I want to downsize what I've got and have the Mister replace everything? And it's that pure speculation on, do I want to throw away stuff that I've got? Do you know what I mean? And have something that's almost equivalent to it. Because I'll tell you what, I am most impressed by the Mister, and it is the most accurate thing that you could possibly buy in this retro era that we're in, right? But there's a couple of reasons why I won't buy one. And it takes me back to the days when I used to buy a PC. So when I bought a PC, within 18 months, I'll be buying a new processor for it, and I'll be putting that in. And then 18 months later, I'll be swapping the board out and putting more memory in it. And I would just try and keep up with the Joneses by keep swapping the hardware out. And the Mister is one of those boards where it's called a Deck 10, by the way, if you ever want to know. That it's been out for 2 years. And the thing I'm scared about the most is, when is the new board going to come out, and do I really want to buy it now, where the board has been out already for 2 years, so they might in a year's time bring out a third revision of the board, right? So you're constantly thinking, do I want to buy it because I'm going to be swapping the hardware out, because there'll be some review that will come out that say you can't play this ROM or this particular type of hardware without you swapping the board out because you need a faster processor or something extra that this new board's got out. So I'm in that mindset where when the new board comes out, or if there ever is going to be a new board, I might buy it at that entry level when that happens. But until it does, I think the board is now 2 years old, and I'm too scared that they're going to bring out a board and I'm going to have to buy it again.
Is that not like anything, though, Dale? You buy something, they're always going to bring out a new version. Are you saying because it's been out for such a long time now?
Well, do you remember when the Pi came out, and then there was a Pi 2, and then there was a Pi 3, and then there was a Pi 4, and because you bought the Pi 1, you probably waited until the Pi 3 came out, and if you bought the Pi 2, you probably bought the Pi 4. You know, because you would always go, oh yeah, I'm going to get that because it's got a faster processor in and all of that sort of stuff. Now, a lot of people will be saying to me, Dell, but you don't need the new board. It's actually quite fast. You know, it's got an 800 megahertz processor. And if you want to have arcade stuff, what boards do you need that go above 800 megahertz? But the trouble is, as you get more and more into the Mister and the more it can emulate older hardware, I've already started seeing videos right now that are showing the Mister playing PC games. And I'm going, so when's this going to stop, right? And it won't stop. So they've now got an 800 megahertz chip that's emulating a Pentium 1 processor clocked at faster than the actual speed of the processor could go anyway. So but they're showing things like Doom not running very fast. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is there'll be a point where somebody will go, oh, right, I'm going to renew the hardware, and then you'll be playing Pentium-free games on it. It won't stop there. The Mister has to keep evolving. Do you see what I mean? It has to keep evolving. So it will have a revision. And I do know that you can flash these things, and I do know that it can emulate things faster than it actually can because it's hardware emulation. It's not software emulation. So it doesn't have to worry about its software environment. You flash the chip and it basically makes it that hardware. That's basically what an FPGA is. Right? So all I'm saying is because you take the software element about it, it doesn't have to worry about the clock trying to emulate its environment. It's actually a very fast processor and therefore can emulate things much above its station. But it doesn't get over the fact that there'd have to be somebody out there that would prove to me there isn't going to be a revision of that board. And I don't think anybody can. I know there'll be another revision of that board, and there will be a revision of that chip. And when that happens, I'll be going out like everybody else and buying the board again. And I just at this particular moment in time, I think the board has been out for so long that I want to wait now until that happens. Now, I might be waiting another 2 years. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, I've got 2 years to save up and get on and enjoy things just as much as I am now. And then, of course, I can go out and buy it. But right now is the wrong time for me. Personally, for me, it's the wrong time. But from your point of view, Alan, where it comes to the should I get rid of my Ataris and should I get rid of my swords and I'm going to get this Mister and all of that sort of stuff. It all depends on what you want it for. But for me, I just don't want to be stuck around with a board that I just bought and then they come out with a revision and I'll be buying it again and I'll be going, why did I buy it? Damn thing! Now I've got to buy the latest one because I'll always be the one that wants the latest. Do you know what I mean? If I put my stock into something, I'll want to have the latest one, and that means that I'll be selling my old version and getting the new one. And
sorry, what are you saying? I'm getting.
So I think for most of the people that are in Discord and most of the people that are in here that are listening to my waffle, I've just given a personal opinion of it. I think but I'm going to end by saying the Mister is absolutely fantastic. I think it is the future. It's just for me at the moment, I do think that the hardware is now starting to get to the point where they're thinking about doing a revision. And if they are going to do a revision, then I'm going to wait. And if that means that I miss out, I miss out.
I think for me, I mean, if I can get something that is going to sort of allow me to play, I mean, right now, I think emulation is fantastic, and you know, it's really made me think I can get rid of 99% of my hardware, and I'll not miss it at all because I can still play the games. You know, the Raspberry Pis, I've got quite a few, and I'll be honest, I'm not really a Raspberry Pi fan now. For arcade, for like, you know, home systems and that kind of stuff, it's absolutely fine. And for people who've probably never played Manic Miner for 30 years, they'll think it's wonderful. But when it comes to like emulating arcade systems, saying that I'm bad mouthing the Raspberry Pi. It's not the Raspberry Pi. It's running a Raspberry Pi on a modern TV doesn't really work. The lag is to a point where, you know, it's I don't play 1942 in a Raspberry Pi on a normal TV because it's just the lag is just it breaks the game for me. But I think if I can bollocks right, yeah, trying to talk and play doesn't work. Anyway, I'm going to come out of this just now. I mean, I think if not a Raspberry Pi, if a Mister allows me to play all the systems that I've got just now, I'm not talking about CD-based systems, then I'd be quite happy with that. I really would. Yeah,
and that's where I was saying for you it might be a slightly different situation because what you have to say is right now it can emulate quite high up systems, right? I mean, they're doing at the moment Saturn stuff, they're doing PS1 stuff, and like I said, I saw a video YouTube of them trying to do a PC, but the moment I saw the Mister trying to do a PC, I said, where does this stop? If you decide to get one right now, then of course you'll be emulating stuff that's 99% in MAME already at the moment, because there isn't anything in there that does that has a processor that would require anything really super special. You know, if you can emulate a PS1 and Neo Geo and that sort of stuff, then you've got nearly 80%, 90% of what MAME is really enjoyable at anyway. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
It's just that later on, somebody will turn around and say, I've now got 100% accurate emulation of, I don't know, an Xbox 360. And you'll be going, oh, now there's no way that my Mister's going to red Ring of Death and I'm going to be able to play my 360 and stuff on that. But you'll be going, I need the new revision board because it can't do it on the older board. Do you see what I mean? That's the situation that I would be getting in. But that's just me. Like I said, I would always be looking at it from a point of view that it will never stop moving forward.
I think it's. I always used to laugh at my brother-in-law for years ago. He always used to say to me, "Oh, when should I buy a PC?" And this is what I'm talking about, the 90s. And I'll say, "Well, just get a PC now." Oh no, I think I'll wait a few years because the technology will get better. And he just kept using that as an excuse to never ever get anything. And at the end of the day, if it does what you want it to do now, then just bloody buy it. You'll never ever.
That's right.
Never,
so
things evolve all the time.
That's right. So that's why I thought to myself, look, I'll get the Mister even on the revision that it's on at the moment if I had more time. But I would make time if I bought the latest revision that's just come out, if there was a new one. Do you see what I mean? It would be one of those things that would force me to do that.
Yeah.
It's just that what you know is that when if a revision ever did come out, I'm not saying there is going to be one very soon, but what I'm saying is when that happens, all the old boards will become down in price. It will just crash the market so that people will buy that as an entry level. And then everything that anybody has been saying would be something that you could experience anyway at half the price.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is at the moment is it's very much a cluster machine where you buy this board and then you put another board on top of it and then you buy a case around it and then you start getting into how do I want to capture this stuff and all of that sort of stuff. And all I'm saying is it is quite an awful lot of money to get out when you know that you could do it in software emulation.
Oh yeah. That's why Panther, he keeps saying the Mister's great, but I can do it all in emulation, and I have to agree with him. I mean, I can on my PC. It's hard to beat. I mean, I don't know what. I know people say once you've played the Mister, you'll never go back to anything else. But I would argue that emulation on a modern system is brilliant. You know what I mean? The only thing for me, you don't really feel like you're playing a SNES when you're playing it in front of a PC. It doesn't feel like that, and that's why I do like original hardware. You're playing it in front of a CRT TV. You're using the proper controls.
Yeah.
But
take another look at this. Now here's something. So the Mister is there and it can emulate cores and all of that sort of stuff, and we all know that. And by the way, I'm one of the biggest fans of the Mister. Don't get me wrong. I think the Mister is the future. I've said that 5 times now in this stream, right? But the one thing you have to understand with it as well is you haven't got a Commodore keyboard, you haven't got a BBC B keyboard, you haven't got a Spectrum keyboard. Whichever way you look at it, it's still the same as a Pi, and it still has that same limitation. That if you want it to be a Spectrum, it'll be the most accurate Spectrum in the world, but you haven't got a Spectrum keyboard in front of you unless you've got a 3D printed version of it. And remember, we are playing emulation with our own PC keyboards right now, and you can obviously map the keys and all of that sort of stuff. But the advantage you've got with your Spectrum Next is you've got a Spectrum keyboard in front of it. Right, and it's an FPGA, which means that so all I'm trying to say is there are going to be some substantial changes that are going on in the way that the retro scene is over the next 6 to 12 months, and I'm happy at the moment to sit back and wait for it to happen. Now, I have one of these sort of minds where I go, I'll review it again in 3 months' time, or I'll review it again in 6 months' time, because my situation might change. But right now, I'm happy that I haven't got one, because I know that ultimately I'll get one, and it'll be at the time that I feel it's right for me. And at the moment, I don't want to get rid of any of my hardware just to save space or whatever. And I don't want it to be something that will just be sitting underneath the TV and I don't switch it on very much.
Yeah, no, I've got far too many systems and things that I buy, and they quite literally just sit underneath the whatever it is, not getting used, So, guys, this is a bloody underrated. Have you played this still, Continental Circus?
Oh yeah, I never saw it in the arcades.
It was a weird. It had a little kind of viewfinder, and it kind of gave. Was it in 3-dimensional? What happened there? What's going on there? Yeah, I don't know. But was it actually kind of 3D?
This is sprite manipulation, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was you that turned around and said that Ridge Racer was really the change. What you considered the major change to racing games. I argued the fact that no, racing games have gone up in stages, and Outrun is a particular cut-off point. Ridge Racer is a cut-off point. Pole position is a cut-off point, and so forth. And they go up in stages in what the hardware was allowing them to do and the way that they looked. This is similar to sort of how Outrun wrote its graphics, so not much of a change as far as I'm concerned.
Hang on, right, I don't want to do that. There's something really nice about sprite-based racers. I mean,
I love them, yeah.
It doesn't look as realistic as like Ridge Racer. So there's just something really beautiful about it. I think because they can put Ridge Racer, it's all straight lines, whereas this you've got palm trees and all that kind of stuff, and it's got more. It's like hand-drawn graphics, isn't it?
Well, there is that, but it's also the sense of speed. The more you keep drawing something that goes from the background to the foreground, and you add those layers of how many sprites you can lay on top of each other, it gives you that sense of speed. But Robert is definitely saying we've got to play Cable. So whatever you do,
we'll play it after this.
Whatever you do, you must not upset Robert. I want him to be happy, and so you must put Cable on. I've probably upset more people in this room talking about the Mister and I don't mean to offend anybody. It's just that I just know my own mind and how I feel about it.
Everyone's got their own bloody fire, mate. You'll never hear that in a stream. Mamemeister's on fire.
It wasn't too long ago, Alan, that say about the last 5 to 8 years that I was buying absolutely everything under the sun. If something was new, I'd be going out and buying it. The problem with it is that I would then get something happen at work or something happen in my home life or whatever it was that took me away from it, and then I never went back to it, and that's the problem. And I've been at that stage where I was keeping up with the Joneses with my PC for so many years in the early 90s, early 2000s, where I was taking the processor out and putting a new graphic card in and putting memory in, that I just can't get that excited with the Mister in that same way at the moment. So all I'm saying is I will get one. There'll be no doubt about it. I love the gaming industry and I love retro stuff so much that I've got to have one. But it's just not for me at the moment. That's all.
I know, that's right. I've got to say, what I like about this game is the opposition actually end up, they'll kind of crash and leave the road and hit into each other, which is nice. Normally, they never do that.
Yeah.
But this is definitely an underrated game.
like I said, it was one of those ones that I missed in the arcades. But when MAME came out and this game was one of the was emulated, I loaded it up and went, "This is fast, bloody hell!" I'm quite impressed with this. I do remember that.
Yeah, Cable. Did you say, Dale? Cable.
Yeah, that's the Mamemeister arcade challenge this week. And I do remember Cable. I thought it was a great game, but I was never good at it. The trouble is that I was never actually very good at the game.
How do you spell it? Cable?
Cabal, I think.
Oh, Cabal.
Yeah.
Cable. You're saying cable. Cable's a thing.
Cabal.
See that thing that comes out your kettle, you plug into the wall. That's a cable. This is Cabal.
Yeah, not LE. Yeah, Cabal.
Who said bloody cable? God almighty. Right. And I'm Scottish as well, right? We're going to go for Cabal, and we'll go for the joystick version, I think.
What are you going to do? Put the German one on again just to upset everybody?
Cable. There we go, right. Cabal or cable to us English, to my English viewers. Right, anyway.
Well, it's just I said it right 3 times, and at the end I had to just sort of remember.
Cable.
I got fed up, you see.
I'll not let you forgive that.
But I never enjoyed the Commodore 64 version of this game, and I remember the arcade one being super hard, and I just wasn't very good at it, but I did like it. It was one of those ones where I did like this somersaulting left and right. And
I think I did fairly recently in this game, did I or not?
Yes, it wasn't too long back.
Right, wait a minute, am I missing anything? I've just got one fire button, or have I got 2 fire buttons? Oh, that's right. Oh, wait a minute, why is that doing that? How do you roll from left to right?
Didn't you have to double tap left or right, or fire and double left or something? I can't remember actually. There was probably a dedicated button for roll, actually, to be quite honest. And I've got my arcade stick here, but
well, when you've got cat-like skills like me, you don't actually need to bother about stuff like that.
Well, there is that. I have to say, I'm very impressed at the moment that you worked out there's a crosshair that you use. I mean, that was the first thing I was impressed at.
That's like me running, yeah. It kind of reminds me a wee bit like what was that game? Nam. Was it Nam on the Neo Geo?
Yeah.
That was kind of similar.
See, now I was a very early adopter of the Neo Geo because I had the MVS system.
Did you?
Yeah, and I had
Gosh, bastard! When was that? When are you talking about?
About a year after it came out. So the very first game I had was Alpha. What was it called? Alpha
Mission, was it?
Yeah, and it was the shoot 'em up,
Wow.
and that was the game that I got with it.
I'm impressed.
And the other game that came with it was Magician Lord. That's it. I remember that.
That's actually a good game, Magician Lord.
Damn hard, but it's underrated. It's one of those ones where it's so early that some people look at it and go, "That's just Altered Beast." You know what I mean? There's so many comparisons that people go. But no. You really have to play that game. It's actually very good. The further you get into it, the better it gets. Actually.
So when did you? Sorry, Dale. What year did you get your Neo Geo?
Must be 1990, 91.
Bloody hell! I mean, other people were still playing the bloody Spectrum, and you're playing a Neo Geo. Jesus,
yeah.
You must have been popular at school.
I wasn't at school. I was at work.
I mean, to have a Neo Geo back then, holy monkeys! I didn't actually. I'm quite impressed. I can now tell people that I knew somebody that had a Neo Geo.
Yeah.
I mean, how much was it? I mean, I know the games are like 200 quid or something. Is it?
That's right, but it was one of those ones where in the back of the magazines there was always a classified, and you could buy second hand, right? And this one came with 2 games, and I bought it for it was just over £500. I'm pretty sure it was about 550 quid. And that was a lot of money back then, don't get me wrong, but I'd sold a few systems. Remember I told you that I managed to get so many systems in the early days because my sister worked in a computer store and they used to bring in machines for trade and I'd fix them up. So basically I sold a few systems and basically I could then afford to buy, a BBC-B back in the day when a BBC-B was out. But at the end of me selling my A1000 and getting myself, because I actually had an A2000. Is it or 3000? No, I had a 2000. That's right. After the 2000, before I went to a PC, I had a Neo Geo.
Nice.
And I didn't sell it to buy myself a PC either. I actually had that at the same time as a PC. And my first PC was a 386 SX. That's right. I didn't have a 286. I had a 386 SX25. And then I upgraded it to a DX50. And then a DX1. Was it a DX100? Then I had a Pentium 1, then a Pentium 2. It goes up and up and up like that. And that's when it got ridiculous because I was buying motherboards and chips and memory and hard drives were going from 10 gig to 20 gig to 40 gig to, and it just went on and on and on. To the point where that's why I keep looking at, I might get into that same trap with the Mister. That's why I keep looking at those early days where I was really, really happy, kept swapping my PC out, kept getting it going faster and faster and faster. And then I looked at my bank account and said, I've got no money and I need to get a life.
I think all us early adopters of PCs knew that well, constantly updating. And then, I remember, I can't remember what it was, I bought a graphics card. I mean, at that point, it was like £200 for a graphics card, which was a lot of money. That was before, now people pay thousands of pounds for a graphics card, but I bought it was £150 or something. And within about 6 months, I remember reading a review, and it was classed as a budget game.
Oh, Paul's just asked a question. What was MMX technology? And I think that stood for multimedia extension. And I think it was Intel's way of trying to it was like an early DirectX. It was sort of like a code for doing things with video and sound and so forth into their processors, if I remember rightly. But I tell you, one of the other things that I remember doing, when the Nintendo 64 came out, and there was a big buzz about the Nintendo 64, I heard that Hamleys, the big toy store in London, they were going to get them really, really early. And they went, and I went to London in that particular month that they were going to start coming out, and they had them. They had a Nintendo 64. I think literally a month before the country actually was selling them in shops as standard. And that's when I first saw Mario 64, and I was blown away. That's when I went, Jesus Christ!
I mean, I got an N64 when it first came out. First came out in the UK.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I was blown away with how good Mario 64 was. And then I think my next game was Mario Kart, which I was disappointed in it. Then I got Turok, and that was
Turok was terrible because of that ghosting. There was that fog of death effect, wasn't there?
Plus the fact that to jump, you had to kind of look down at the ground, and you physically couldn't see where you were jumping. It was, it wasn't a good game. And after that, I just kind of went off. I completely went off the N64, and to this day, I mean, it's one of the few systems that I would call it bought with I bought an Everdrive cartridge, and then I sold it because I simply never played it.
Yeah. But this is the reason why I like to have little chats and that with you, Alan, in here, because it reminds me of so much. Like that at the moment, everybody's talking about MMX now and MMC and all that sort of stuff. But I remember when I first got my PC, and everybody wanted their PC, didn't they? Because they wanted Doom. They wanted to be able to play Doom and that sort of stuff, right? And I remember back in the. I will say it now that I was in support for PCs for years and years and years, and I knew my stuff purely because of all of the things that I learned at the very early days of having a PC. So people would come up to me and say, Craig, they'd turn around and they'd say, I want an auto exec and a config sys that will load this game up. Everybody was stuck because I can't get this to work. It crashes my machine because I've got an ad-lib sound card and I've got MIDI as well, and they conflict. And people would come up to me and ask me questions about how I get this to work, and I'd say, "Oh, you have to load the mouse driver high by going, mouse high or high mem and all that sort of stuff." And so I've never forgotten those early days, and it's amazing how your problem-solving skills by playing games and making a game work on a PC is something that I do even now at work. I use those problem-solving skills even now, in my daily work, and it all comes based from early PCs and Amigas and the rest of it.
Yeah, I can remember. I mean, I wasn't really technical, but I mean, I got a PC, right? I think let's come there we go. I got a PC. It was a Pentium 60, and I bought DOS. Was it DOS 7? I can't remember. And I bought Windows 3.1, and I remember having like multiple auto exec bats. One that would free up more memory, and there was something. There was a little program that you ran and it gave you, like, freed up more memory or something. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, that was the Harlequin PC.
It's because some of the game data had to be in what they call base RAM. That's all it was, because there's what they call high mem and base RAM. But I mean, even now I can remember. I think what was it? The Sound Blaster was 240.7.1, I think. 7 was the IRQ channel 1, 240 was hex address, and I think MIDI was 5. People would get them confused and get them conflicting with each other.
One before I get going.
Yes.
Stealth Banana. He's one of my mates. Neil. He's been using the Mister for probably 4 years. I'd never even heard of it. It was only probably in the last year that it's kind of become quite big. But he was showing me he's bought this thing. I don't know if Neil's still in the stream. He bought this thing that when you're running a PC program, you can emulate the different, like this AdLib and whatever it was, 64 and all this kind of stuff. And it's interesting to hear the different sound effects, how each one was completely different.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot more to the kind of Mr. Meets the Eye. But listen, I thought that was just coming up to 10:30. That's 20 to 10. It's bedtime. So listen, thanks to everybody that's joined the stream tonight. It's been good fun. Like I says, I will be kind of sort of stepping back from YouTube just for a couple of weeks until I kind of get my shit sorted out. I'm not going anywhere. And thanks to Dale for joining me tonight. It's always good fun having you on the stream, buddy.
Oh yeah, and I think people got a free copy of watching Mortal Kombat on my telly. I think
there's that as well.
Just people who look back will say, "Look, I can watch Mortal Kombat."
And listen, guys, I hope you all stay safe. I hope you have a decent week, and I will catch you very, very soon. Till next time, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.